Okay, we're back. I lost. Jeb won. That's the end of the episode because we don't like him. I'm a salty loser. We all know this.
You're extremely salty after
I
that.
hate that. I hate you.
And it played,
so much.
It played out so similar to the one where...
No, it didn't.
No, because... Yeah,
because
I got the princess first, and then you guys had a chance to get points, but
like
you
I'm
didn't.
watching you, and it's like, how are you getting 8 every turn? It's just so stupid.
It's called good hand management.
It actually was. It still makes me irritated, though.
I know.
Because I couldn't get the stuff out of my deck as quick as Jeb did, and he won. He got the 20 succession points, and I don't like him anymore.
I got super...
I never like him when he wins.
I was so scared because I backed the princess, and then there was one turn I did something, and then the next turn you were like, okay, let's go. And then you, like, bought your princess, and I was like, crap, now he's going to come and just, like, destroy with all the...
I really did think I really did think I had a chance, but I'll tell you, I guess my deck was just too big. Some of the differences when we played was, the last time we played, there was a lot of draw power ability.
There were ones that had draw 2.
And I had a lot of those. I think Jeb had some.
Yeah, I didn't
but
have that many.
The way that he played, I'm gonna guess wouldn't have paid off as well. Anyways, kudos to Jeb. He did the hand. He really did manage his hand well, and the cards fell in his place.
And I hope none of the people watching found me cheating that I didn't know.
No,
because if they did,
oh my god,
I'd have to hear that again.
Not this time. I don't think we did. But okay, enough with the banter about who won and me being salty. Heart of Crown.
Yep.
Here's the review for it. Hopefully you watched the gameplay.
If you didn't, check it out, because there are some interesting mechanics that are introduced.
Yeah, and in our gameplay, we, like, at least at the beginning, we try to tell you what the cards are doing and stuff like that. Jeb does a good job of editing all the dead space, so hopefully you get to watch a quicker game than what it might be, because obviously we have downtime when you play because people are thinking about cards and stuff like that. We try to get rid of those for you. But at the end of the day, do you like this game, Jeb?
I liked it. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Which, again, if you watched our Origins recap, even though we didn't walk through Origins with the camera, we told you about it. We did get to test this out. We both told you that we were glad that we backed the game, and the reason we're glad that we backed the game is that we both like this deck builder a lot. I think we both like deck builders. I think it's one of the, I mean, we haven't played it a whole lot, but I think it's one that would, stand the test of time for a while.
Yeah, I could definitely play this multiple times, especially in the back of the book, how it has the different setups. You can just go through all of those
and then just do randoms and stuff like that.
And that's not even the expansions in them either.
Yep.
So you got a ton of content.
I think we mentioned it earlier. We kickstarted this. There are 2 expansions that came with it that I believe we got 2 months ahead of street date.
Yeah, I don't even know if this is out on the street yet.
Well, it's real close if it's not. It's like this week or something. It's pretty close, but
yeah, it is before everything or it comes out on.
So 2 expansions that bring in some new mechanics to the game. Things personally that I like about the game. I like the market. I like that randomness of the market, which is similar to Tanto. If you watched our review on that, it's not the same, but it adds an element of randomness, which not Tanto.
Yeah, I was going to say, what was that other game?
Kazume. How do you say
Kanzume.
it?
Yeah, Kanzume Goddess, which I think Japan
is
as well.
That's like, if you go back and look through our videos, that's one before we actually tried to start doing
episodes,
like episodes and stuff. So we just kind of played the game, but it has that's the game that I was thinking of. I like a random market. It's kind of cool not to know what's going to be out there.
Machikoro. In one of the expansions, they
changed it because
so
that broke the system. I
was trying to remember what that was.
I've still never watched that Machi though.
Yeah, the last time I played it was like the 24-hour gaming, 7 a.m.
But I still haven't lost at it. Just so you
Good
know.
for you, Mickey. Guess what you did lose?
Oh no! He brought it up. Okay, so I really like that, and I really think that the whole backing the princess and the domain is really cool about this game.
That's one of my favorite things, is that you're actually like building a kingdom or domain or whatever.
Right.
Like,
well, and it's a sidestep too.
Right,
that
right.
like I mean, in other games, well, I'll use Dominion for an example. I've watched people that like really good at the game, and they just buy and they know what they're doing, and then boom, like all in one turn they take all the big estate things. I don't even remember what they're called, but they just plan it for it to all that happen.
Right.
I think that this gives you like a little bit of notice. Like, hey, this turn I have a princess. You guys better watch out because now I can do stuff.
I really like the fact that there are mechanics that you can only do after you buy a princess. So
Right.
in the beginning, it's just a normal deck builder. You're just kind of building your deck. When somebody hits a princess, then that is the key for everyone else to be like, okay, they've got one. I need to figure out when the best time to back a princess is.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the 6 princesses are unique. So if I buy one, that option's not available to anyone else. So there's also the fact of I kind of want to be the first one to buy because I have all the options.
Yeah.
So
you have all the options, and so and if you were playing in a certain strategy, hoping to get a certain princess, if somebody takes that, you're kind of in trouble. Like in the game that we just played, I like hindsight being what it is. I wish I would have taken more of the. Wasn't there was one that let you discard? Well, that one didn't really help. I thought there was one that let you discard and then draw that many cards, or was that the other game?
that was the Wishing Well.
Oh, we didn't have that one. I wish we would have had Wishing Well in this because
That was a
then,
really good one.
Because I could have, when you started doing that, I could have started taking the succession cards earlier if I would have had Wishing Wells, and then dumped the crappy cards, gotten a hand of that, and dumped them in there. I don't know really what part went crappy for me other than I didn't win. But let's see.
I like that introduction of the whole backing the princess. That's really cool.
Yep.
The in-game condition is pretty interesting. I like that it's not first to 20 because then that feels like it just kind of ends it quick. Yeah. The giving everyone one turn, I would have to play this a lot more to see how effective that is because I mean last game we played you were able to get pretty close, but
I did and I'm not even joking now. I don't think that would have been as close if you wouldn't have done some of the mistakes that we did.
Oh yeah.
Because the mistakes that we made is Jeb was storing cards on the territories
that
weren't allowed to be stored, and it did allow him on quite a few turns to buy like even a little succession card. You would buy if you could buy one, you bought one.
Yeah.
And so I'm not 100% positive that somebody else would have won, but it did make a big difference. So don't make that mistake. You can only store action cards.
Because that's huge. Because if you accidentally put a succession card on there, like you're holding 8 victory points, that's ridiculous.
So,
or 6, whatever.
But the holding part is actually a really cool mechanic, or the keep part. That's another thing that I've found really interesting. What paid off for Jeb, which I was thinking was going to pay off more for me, and maybe because I saw him getting close, I wasn't paying attention enough. And I could have played my hand better. I don't know, but I really waited to try to get the higher and get 3 really good cards. You didn't. You were like, I'm gonna go after it, and I wonder if I would have managed my hand better, putting things aside. If I could have had better turns.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Because that is one cool thing about this is being able to keep cards to the side because otherwise you're just losing everything.
Because, I mean, doing that, I mean, that's a 3-card thin, your deck, too.
Yeah.
So...
Well, that's what I was going to say, that Mystic Orb or whatever, the one that protected you, when all the witches weren't in anyone's deck, all I did was kept that on the side. That was a card I didn't have to draw.
Right.
So...
But like Jeff said, we haven't played it a ton yet. I think it's one that we'll pull out more. But you know, just to learn this, like, somebody already took a princess. What should I do for my strategy now? I don't know. I didn't think it. So other things I like. I think the art is really good in this game.
Yeah, it's good art.
Anime wise, in case you're concerned, it's all family friendly. I didn't look through all the expansions, but I'm gonna guess that it's the same. I mean, sometimes anime can get a little risque.
I think the Curse Witch was probably the most risque thing that I've seen in this.
It's not bad though.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not Tonto.
Right. Yeah. So you know, there's you know, so family wise, I think you could play it. Replayability, I think it's got a lot of replayability. Like, you know, the tokens that were on the board, you didn't even get to see anybody use any of them except the Succession ones. So,
which was really cool with that. I like that card that lets you put one on. Although there were lots of times where I was like, do I want to pay 3 to put one on, or do I want to buy the Senator or something?
No, but it paid off.
Yeah, it did.
Because,
it was able to push me to 20.
Yeah, because you did, like, just taking those ones let you save up and hit the 8s.
Yeah.
So it ended up paying off.
Dislikes? I have one that it's just my personal taste, and I mean, I can live with it. It's the drawing, the deck drawing filling or whatever. Like, you know how you draw a card, if one's already out, you just put it on top and you draw, and you keep doing that. It just feels annoying to me. I don't know how to describe it. Like, if it was more like Star Realms where you just put 8 cards out, then I feel like it would flow better. But I don't know if that's just a personal thing or what.
I think it's personal for you. I think it's a good twist on the game. You got to remember, to be honest, I think one of the things that it was a little deceiving when we actually got our games was when we learned it. Both of us are pretty sure that they had more than the 10 count in the market deck, because they were putting random stuff out like left and right, and the piles
when we were playing at Origins.
when we played at Origins. And if you think about it, so you're taking 10 different cards, and there's 8 spots. You know, the odds are good that, you know, some of those spots are gonna get piled up pretty quick. I would disagree with Jeb a little bit, because I think that adds a strategy factor in terms of what I'm trying to do. If that card what you want to do is out there, you better hope that it gets to your turn, or it is your turn, or somebody else can snag it up, and you don't know when another one's going to come out.
Right.
If there happens to be a little bit of a pile, you got a good chance of getting your card. Plus, it lets the good cards spread a little bit. Like, there's Post Horse, which you didn't see, is a phenomenal card. It's cheap. It has 2 links, and it's a draw card.
Yeah, it costs 2 links, and draw 1 card. Really good.
I mean, there's it's phenomenal.
Especially early game.
Right.
Too.
So if there's a stack of those, they're gonna go fast, most likely. So it's that type of thing. I think it adds a little more strategy, more randomness. I get what Jeb's saying, though, because in a way it's kind of like, hey, just put out whatever's going to be out, and don't worry about, you know, the stacking. I mean, I could see it played. You might even want to try it like that. Just put them around, whatever's out there, even if it's a duplicate, out there, and see what happens.
I don't know. That's just a personal feeling.
Nope,
I don't even know if it plays well or not, but that was the only thing that. I guess another thing was the rule book, and with all the errata.
We actually looked into that. Actually, Jeb started it. I looked up after him, and there's quite a few complaints about the number of cards that needed errata. So far, the ones that we've looked at, you know, if you're gonna play the game and you have the errata, it's not horrible, but it is definitely irritating.
Yeah, the Stargazing Witch, that one, I noticed all of us made mistakes on it, because it didn't have the draw 1 on it. So
to me that's probably the worst. Like, if there's missing text that's really important, I think that's worse than text that is a little ambiguous.
Yeah, that stuff I remember
like,
the difference.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I get now. As soon as somebody tells me what it means, then I got it. And there was actually a couple. I don't remember which ones off the top of my head that Jeb and I read, and we could see why people would be confused, but we didn't read it that way.
Right.
So yeah, if you kickstart a game and it comes wrong, I get it. It's irritating.
And that's one of the things with Kickstarter. Like you're getting the first edition of it, so I mean.
Yeah, but the game already existed. You would hope that whoever was doing it would be better translators. I mean, the name of the company is Japanime. Come on, translate right. So we get the irritation.
Right.
I would say our irritation level is kind of in the middle. Hopefully they'll do a card reprint. They haven't said yet.
Yeah, there's been no official.
There's been no official.
Yet, so.
There's been a lot of complaints. Honestly, in my opinion, the company should do the reprint and send the cards. You're not talking about much. Are they going to take a hit? I don't know. I don't know what the cost of it is, but even if you have to take a little hit, I suspect that they're going to do other Kickstarters and stuff.
Yeah.
You want to keep the people happy, that's what I would do. If they stick to just the errata, okay, I'll print out a sheet and have it at the table. But I sure am not going to print out little cards and either paste it over what I have, or even if I sleeve everything, I'm probably not going to do that either. I'm just going to remind people with the 10 cards, if there's any errata cards, remember that it does this. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I think that's the point I've gotten to.
I'm
not going to print a ton of stuff out. I'll just have a sheet of paper.
I mean, if it's really bad, I'll probably be not this game, but if there was another game that it was so bad that I just didn't like it, I would probably just never play the game.
Yeah.
That's what it would be. Again, who wouldn't like it? Non-deck builder people. And honestly, I can't even say that there's enough difference about this deck builder that if you don't like deck builders, play this one.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, it's still a real deep deck builder at the heart of it. There's not enough difference in it. To me,
I'm starting to see the deck builders that add new mechanics and stuff. I'm curious as to what deck builder, like people who like deck building, if they like the addition of these new mechanics or if they think it's kind of like gimmicky.
It's still the same. I don't know.
But I enjoy it because I've played deck builders and I'm like, okay, I get it. And then it just kind of gets repetitive after a while. And when you see these new things thrown in, some of them are really cool. So
yeah, I agree. I mean, and like one that we haven't done a review yet on, like Clank adds a whole board game element to it, which that one I could see people crossing over to. Mm-hmm. This one, if you're an adamant I don't like deck builders, I would probably stay away from this one. That's my opinion. Jeb's opinion is that you might like the mechanics. Maybe it'll sway you. I don't know.
If you're completely new to deck builders, I don't know. I don't think I'd use this as an introductory.
I wouldn't either, only because of there's a couple weird things, and the errata I would stay away from it because you'll be reading cards. And to tell you the honest truth, I probably wouldn't play any of the Japanime deck builders as a beginner one either because a lot of the cards are very wordy. They just are.
Some of them are.
And there's plenty of other deck builders that you can get that are just really basic, straightforward, like a Star Realms type of thing. That'll get your foot in the door in this department.
But I mean, it's a good deck builder in my opinion.
Oh no, this one! Oh, it's fantastic.
Just not a good intro deck.
Yeah,
don't take it the wrong way.
Yeah. Exactly. That's not what I was trying. I didn't say that.
Anything? I think the only thing left is stuff that you should remember while playing the game.
Besides the errata.
Yeah.
Don't forget that you are able to keep and recall.
Yes, that is something that if it's out of your field of vision, like, because when I was looking, I just didn't see my stuff for a while, and I was like, oh yeah, I still have stuff kept on there.
The other thing is, I did better this game, but don't forget that you get your whole main phase. You can play all your cards, and then you have to decide if you're going to buy, or if you're going to do like a market phase, if you're going to do a succession phase, or if you're going to back a princess phase.
And the key thing is that in your main phase, you can spend money on effects, and that doesn't mean that you're buying something.
Yep.
So you could
Yep.
use money for effects and then like succeed stuff. So.
Right. Or if one of those cards, if the card has an effect that acquires something, that isn't a market purchase.
Right.
So, and I think that's what the first times we played that I would run into, and I'd be like, whoa, I got a card, or oh, wait a second, Jeb got a card, but that's not market phase yet. So, those are the only big sticking points that come to my mind. I don't know if there was anything else for you, for things to remember.
Just, I don't know, I thought there was one card, Haley, I think she didn't read the full card. She asked about the Imperial Estate, if you could do that multiple times.
Just make sure
it's
you
a
read
habit
the
that
whole
people
thing.
get into is you know what a card does, but then sometimes you forget the specifics. So
yeah, because you're like, the main part of the card does this.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's your main focus, and you forget that, or you don't read that the rest of the card says, oh, you're limited on this, or you can only do it in this situation, or whatever, and you get so focused on this thing does really something good that you forget the part that constrains you from making the card broken, most likely.
Right.
So.
But other than that, I think it's we didn't do it the coins. I think this setup was actually easier because we weren't generating so much money that we were, when you spent like a coin on something, you'd forget where you were at.
Yeah, I got it. Honestly, to tell you the honest truth, where they put intermediate level, I wasn't impressed with the intermediate part of it.
I feel like it definitely limited us compared to when we played the
I know. That's what I mean. Like the card, the card combinations were, in my opinion, weren't nearly as powerful. Yeah, it added. That was supposed to be the first level that added like the calamity cards, i.e. curse. So that's why we picked it, because we wanted you guys to see as much
the curse cards,
as much as
I think like.
And it was like 3 or something, because actually when you read the card that did most of the curses, you were like, well, that's nice late game, but I'm not going to buy it early, most likely, because I'm going to be using those cards early.
Yeah, the Curse Witch, I think you had to
banish a card that costs 2 or more.
That, I was like, no, I'm not doing that early. And I don't even know if I do that
And then
late.
the second one, which you actually used, was that from your hand, vanish her.
Yeah.
And then everybody
curses,
a curse. But in order to get her into your hand, it costs 5. I'm like,
I should have not done that. Like that was a waste of time.
No, that curse came in my hand quite a few times.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Oh, then,
yeah.
No.
I mean,
I didn't know that thing.
I mean,
thought it did nothing.
I wouldn't say it killed me, but I'm like,
it annoyed you.
Yeah, I would have definitely rather had another card. But my point is, that's a really expensive cost to do that at the beginning of the game when you're trying to build your deck. And that probably goes back to what you had said about, not totally realizing all the strategies that you can or you should do to either counter somebody or, like, I need to go for it now or whatever. Yeah. So, at the end of the day, Jeb made the best call. He's the winner.
I didn't even know what I was doing.
Yeah, you did. So, anyways, Heart of the Crown.
We both recommend it.
Yep, and I think we when we went over the components, it's solid. The card quality's good. The box is good. The dividers are good.
Playmat's really good.
Playmat's awesome.
It helps with the organization.
And so, aside from the errata, we don't really have anything bad to say about it.
Yep. So check out our other videos. Like, subscribe, ask us questions, whatever you guys want to do. We'll have more videos on the way. I don't know what's next. It's either going to be a bonus episode or
we promise we finally will get to the versus system at some point. We keep getting stuff, and we try to get, and nobody asks for anything, so obviously we still get subscribers.
So if you guys start asking,
if somebody asks, they'll probably get what they want pretty quick.
Well, the person who wanted
Dungeon Pets,
and then Pandemic, they got
theirs. So
hey.
If there is I think the only time that you wouldn't get what you want is if you ask us to buy something or play something that we don't have that is really
Super
big
expensive.
bucks.
Yeah, I'm not dropping $500
Yep.
for like for
Some
an episode
vintage
that.
new. I don't know that we'd drop $100 unless it was something that we both wanted and we could be
Yeah.
like, but our fans want it. We should get that, right? Am I right? Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
So.
Anyways, all right. So we'll quit jabbering.
Yep.
Heart of Crown. If you like deck builders, buy it and play it because it's really awesome. Big shout out to Japanime. Other than you're a rata, fix that. We love it.
Boards and booze, booze and boards, with Mickey and Jeb.
Kill you in it.
That's what you always do. You always kill me.
I try, and then usually, if I get too cocky, then you've got some scheme up your hand, and you go, haha, you're dead.
I love
Which is,
doing that.
no, I hate that. It makes me so angry.
It's like the best part of
no,
playing
it
games.
isn't. You're like, oh, I'm going to make Mickey angry. Yay!
Yes.